I wanted to ask you guys, these are the 4 teams that are out of the playoffs right now. New Jersey, Carolina, Tampa, and Pittsburgh is a little less surprising, but those are 4 teams that are not in right now. And it's like, who's the most surprising of that bunch? I guess it's Carolina?
I think it's Carolina.
Carolina, just because they've been a beacon of consistency.
Then
And
Jersey is
And
like,
Jersey.
Yeah.
You can't just stop at
Well,
Carolina.
all of them.
Jersey.
Like, that's the answer is all of them. But if you had to pick one, Carolina is like, they're just so well built.
But I'd still
Jersey's
say
got
it's
the
the pedigree of
goaltending.
Tampa.
yeah, like Tampa's not
Yeah,
in the playoff spot.
like what you said, Vasilevsky.
But without Vasilevsky for most of the year.
And you down the stretch last year, they really struggled. Like
Yeah.
they did not play well. Like they backdoored in because the
And
rest of
yet,
the division
they
was so bad.
outplayed the Leafs in that series.
They did.
for the
They
most
did.
part, but
They did. But 82 games is a grind. They can get up for 4. You can get up for 7. Days off in between, home ice, savviness, veteran leadership. 82 is a grind, man.
Yeah. They're
82
thin.
is a
They lose
grind.
guys like not just the forwards, but Ryan McDonough. You lose that guy, and he's such a horse back there, and he eats so many minutes. He makes everybody's job easier. And gradually, the attrition of the cap has eaten away at them.
Yeah.
You still fear them, though, on a given night. I fear them in
As you
series.
should.
Yeah.
As you should. Like for me, Jersey sticks out because they were the young and coming team, like young up and coming team that was like, watch out because they are here and they are here to stay. And their goaltending's been pretty awful at times. Dougie Hamilton, they've run into injuries. But they had made additions in the offseason that I think most people were touting. Like this,
Foley was a good move.
Right.
To bring in, yeah.
Of the 4 teams that you mentioned, who would you least like to see in the playoffs?
that's a great question.
I'd
if you
probably
were-
Like to play against?
like in a one round.
First round.
Carolina or Tampa for me.
I'd probably say Tampa because of Vasilevsky.
I'd say Tampa.
Yeah.
Still.
Even though he
Still.
had an awful series last year, he was terrible. But he's shown in the past, like he is legitimately one of the 4 or 5 greatest playoff goaltenders of all time. You look at his stats, never losing, coming off a loss. All he did was win games. Just outrageous
His
statistics.
closeout games. He had what was it, 4-something games in a
Yeah.
row where he had a shutout in closeout games.
Just absurd stuff.
The problem with that I have with Tampa is I look at that team, and you brought up with McDonough. Jan Ruutta was a big loss for that team,
He was a
too.
huge loss.
So they have really lost out on that blue line. And we saw last year when they lost that blue line, Toronto was able to kind of get into that kitchen. They were able to get into the eyes of Vasilevsky. And if you look at the numbers this year, we'll bring in some tremendous information.
Attaboy.
Their expected goals against is like
It's my
one of
first
the bottom in the
tremendous
league.
information. I'm quite honored.
There you go, Paulie.
They're like one of the bottom teams in the league defensively. And I think that's a big reason. Like last year, Vasilevsky masked a lot of it, but he's working his way back from an injury. Who knows if he'll be able to ever get back to full speed. I don't know if I fear Tampa as much as I would have in years past.
I agree with that. I'm not disputing that.
I don't
think
know.
They still have the name
those
of the
recognition.
scare factor for
Of
sure.
those 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like imagine you win the
Because of
Atlantic,
Vasilevsky.
and then you have to play the wild card as Tampa. You're like, wait, no, we're good. We don't want that.
Well, that's
Carolina, I was in Ottawa on Tuesday night and saw Carolina firsthand, and they were reeling coming into it. And you sort of look at them, they've lost Svechnikov again now. And that team, you're looking at, has their window passed? Like they went to the Final Four a couple times. I don't know.
Yeah, like they're not built on elite star power either, right? It was depth and speed, defensively incredibly
They play
sound.
well, they don't terrify you.
Yeah, shot suppression, all that kind of stuff. And like Brendan Moore, a great coach, but like we saw with Berube, like every coach,
Well,
sometimes
you need a goalie, right?
that goes a long way.